No, because your hearing decision's already been issued. Did you receive a copy of your decision?
Yes, and thanks to that decision, because of that corrupt lawyer, I've lost my safety net assistance.
Well, you can appeal the decision if you don't feel it was done correctly.
I could appeal. I've been appealing. I haven't had any response of the decision has nothing to. I believe that does the decision have anything to do with the complaints that I have been writing out over there to the in Albany? Isn't that two separate? Isn't that two separate things, or you are representing the same thing?
The decision is based on what occurred at your hearing on the record.
Okay, and my complaints are based on the complaints against the lawyers that that represent themselves as judges. That's my complaint. So I believe that those are two separate. Is it not, or is it the same thing? Or you're representing the same thing? I haven't understood that yet.
Any complaints that you have, I mean, as far as wanting the electronic information that you sent to me included in the record,
Yes.
that can't be done. What's included in the record for a hearing is up to the administrative law judge at the time of the hearing. And you can't submit documents after the hearing has been
And if they
concluded.
don't, how? And if they're not accepting it at the hearing, what am I supposed to do? They don't allow. I go to a hearing and the lawyer is there only to represent the being partial, only representing the corporation. How am I supposed to defend myself? I've asked for a lawyer from day one. I have been denied my legal rights. Obviously, that everyone there's government involved in all this, and everyone is covering up for one another at this point. So therefore, how am I supposed to? Well, this is obvious, because if I've asked for a lawyer and I am being denied my legal rights, and then I also file a complaint against the judge, the lawyer that's representing himself as a judge at the hearings, because he is not doing the right. He's not even accepting the evidence that I am giving him, and also he's attacking me and doing everything to defend the job center that is as guilty as hell. At that point, when I file a complaint with you, what am I filing a complaint of? What are you representing? Are you representing them, or you're representing the victims?
I'm not representing either side.
No, you don't. Also, you are not taking any sides. You're not for the right and not for the wrong. So how am I supposed to get justice?
We're impartial.
Impartial means that you were supposed to make a judgment on what is right and what is wrong. That's being impartial.
First of all, I don't make judgments on what is right or what is wrong. And I'm not an administrative law judge.
Okay, so why am I writing complaints to you then?
I'm not sure where you got my name.
Oh, you're not sure? I could give you a lot of recordings that would tell me that to write your name, and also Mr. Mark Layard. What's his?
Yeah, Mr. Leahy is the chief hearing officer. If
Okay.
you have complaints about a particular hearing and you think the hearing decision is incorrect, you need to address your complaints to him.
Yeah, but they told me also that you also do that. And I also wrote to whomever it may concern. So therefore, and then why did you send them back the USB things without a letter explaining if you were accepting it and not accepting it?
It can't be accepted to be part of the record. That's what I'm telling you today. Because the record is closed at the time of hearing being concluded.
And I tried to present it at the hearing, and the judge. No, it wasn't. Yes, go ahead.
If you think you should have been allowed to,
it is my legal rights. It is my legal rights.
That's what you need to address
And that's why I wrote to you also, and to whomever may concern that's supposed to make a decision on all this.
The decision
That is
was,
impartial.
when I received it, I can't add anything to the record. I don't have the authority to do that.
And that's why you're supposed to give it to someone that does. That's why it says to whomever it may concern.
That's why I sent it back to you.
Oh, this is unreal. I'm recording all this because I have to.
Okay.
Yes, it's important.
That's fine.
Yes, because I'm going to present this also to the federal the FBI that is going to investigate all this.
But if you want to request a reconsideration of the decision, then you need to address that request in writing to Mr. Levy.
I did. I said I wrote to you and to whomever it may concern. It was very clear. I was told from your office. That you are the one that's supposed to do that. Therefore,
I'm talking about the decision from the hearing. The decision wasn't even issued until last Thursday.
it was already clear that day when the judge. Let me let you hear it. When he attacked me, telling me when I have been trying to get rental support from the job center, and then I have the judge yelling at me. Why am I living in a place that I'm in a domestic violence when the job center has done everything possible for me to be out in the streets? And he's attacking me. That
Okay, once again, Ms. Marte, if you have complaints regarding the decision and you want to have it reopened or reconsidered, you have to address that in writing to Mr. Levy.
so I'm supposed to send this back to Mr. Leahy. Everything that I'm supposed to send everything that I sent to you to Mr. Mark Leahy. Why can't you just do that yourself and give it to him? Because that's why I wrote also to whomever it may concern. I was giving your name because Mr. Mark Leahy does the same thing that you just did.
Hello?
Yes.
You're breaking up. I can't understand everything you're saying.
I said that's why I wrote to whomever it may concern. Why didn't you just hand it over to him directly then? If you weren't going to. It was to whomever.
The decision hadn't even
No, I had no. Hold on a second. The first hearing that I had on April the 2nd, that day, that hearing was already terminated, closed. The only reason, yes, it was rescheduled. It was rescheduled after. It was rescheduled. It was rescheduled in the hallway after I found out that he did not put the evidence in the evidence envelope, and therefore when I caught him that he didn't put the evidence in the envelope, and I showed, and that's why I gave you that the microchip, because the micro card, so that you could see it, because I recorded it and I sent you also that. So therefore you already know. I am sure that you've seen every recording that I had on that.
Well, actually, I didn't even listen to it.
Oh, so you weren't even interested.
No, I wasn't able to do anything to add it to your record. That's what I've already explained to you. That's why it was returned to you.
So then you should have given it to someone that's why it's written to
It
me.
could not have been added to your record by anyone.
Like I explained just now, the hearing was already terminated on April the 2nd. The only reason, it was not adjourned. The hearing was already done with. I have the recording also. I just received it today. Okay, it was.
If you want to request a reconsideration, I've already told you how to do
Yes,
that.
and at the same time, the Queens Job Center already closed my all my safety net assistance. They're not paying no rent anymore. No health insurance, medical insurance. Thanks to the hearing.
Well, I can't address whether or not the decision is correct.
That's correct. You already made a decision.
The decision
You just said
To
you
request a reconsideration, there is a process for that.
are you Mr. What exactly is your line of work at that in that building that you're in right now?
I'm the director of administration.
Director administration. So you're representing the Boron
This
Place.
for the Office of Administrative.
So you're representing them.
I'm not representing anyone. That's who I work with.
And uh, that's who you have to answer to, the corporation. Okay. So therefore, I'm not going to get anything out of you because you're all on the same boat.
We do reconsiderations all the time if we've made errors in decisions. And you can request that. You have every right to
I already
request that.
did, and
You
that's
can
I.
also file an Article 78, which was a higher level of appeal.
And without a lawyer, because for some reason I'm getting all the doors closed because of this. Why is it that Boron Place closed down on the day of my hearing? One of the days of my hearing, saying that there was no heat and water, when that was absolutely false.
What is it? The what?
The Boron Place closed down with the saying that there was no water or heat on the day of one of my hearings, when that was absolutely false.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. It's already.
I'm in Albany, ma'am. I'm not in Brooklyn.
I know, but it's all the same thing. These are working for the same thing, aren't you?
We have a Brooklyn office. We have an Albany office, yes.
Okay, so these are all working for the same corporation. Are you pro? May I ask? Are you pro domestic violence?
Am I what?
Are you pro domestic violence? Are you, against the victims of the domestic violence?
This has nothing to do with...
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. This has to do with domestic violence. That's exactly what I'm going through.
The decision for your hearing, I believe, addresses that.
Yes, and what place does a person that's going through domestic violence have in those in consideration? None. To be every case is different. What are you waiting for? For me to be killed first, and then you're going to do something about it?
I believe it's addressed in your decision, Miss Marte.
That you don't care.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, obviously, you would have been helping me out. You would have told me right now, listen, could assist you to have a lawyer, and we'll see exactly.
We don't provide attorneys for legal representation. That's not our role in this process.
So exactly what do you do? I haven't understood that. I was given your name.
We schedule the hearings.
Yes.
And we hold the hearings and we issue the decisions.
So it's you that are issuing the decisions.
It's not me.
It's together with the lawyers.
I'm not an attorney, ma'am.
But you are the ones that oversee these things. You oversee them or not?
We process the requests for hearings.
You process and then you oversee them also, because you are the ones that take the complaints also. So therefore, you are the ones that are supposed to...
Our office is responsible for conducting the hearings. That's correct.
And then you oversee them. So therefore, when something is not right, and there is plenty of complaints being from the victims, and at that point, what are you supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to do something? Investigate, see what's going on?
No.
No? You just go along with it. Just close your eyes and just go along with it. Okay. I'm going to be reporting this all to the Federal Bureau. Okay, because who consents to all this is as guilty as the abusers.
Okay, you have every right to choose whatever avenue you want to pursue.
I know. The grounds are going to be opening up for many, I guess. All right. All right. So therefore, you're not going to take all the evidence that I have already clearly.
That record is concluded. I've already explained that to you.
I already, yeah, as and you were supposed to, if you weren't, that's why I wrote to whomever it may concern. And I was given your name, that you were the one that was supposed to investigate this. I was told also, you and also Mr. Mark Layer, because you work together. So therefore, that's what I was.
You can write to him and request a reconsideration. You can do that.
And at the same time, the Queen's Job Center continues to retaliate. And yous are making it possible for them to continue to abuse me. That's what you're saying. Yous have given them the key, okay? The key of access to continue to retaliate. Yous have given them the permission to continue to retaliate.
Okay, Ms. Fonte, I don't have anything to add.
I know.
I'm going to disconnect the call, okay?
Okay, thank you. I have enough evidence that I needed. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, that was Mike Allen from Albany. And it's filthy corrupted.